In this lesson, I'll show you how to create additional sketches using existing geometry as a sketch plane by creating the cylindrical post for the pin part. I'll click the Start 2D Sketch button and notice that instead of showing the planes for me to sketch on like before, Inventor just shows the icon next to the cursor to indicate that I need to select a plane. I'll move around the drawing area and notice that when I hover over a face, it highlights to let me know that I can sketch on it. The default planes are still available selections, but I'll need to select them from the browser this time to start a sketch on them. Since I want the cylinder to connect to the hex head, I'll select the large, flat front face that I want the cylinder to extend from, and Inventor reorients the model to look directly at the face while making the Sketch tab active. You can think of the sketch plane I'm in now as an infinite imaginary plane placed on that face that tells Inventor where in space the 2D sketch will be located. To show you what I mean, I'll sketch a simple rectangle next to, but not directly on, the part face. I'll then rotate the view, and since I drew the rectangle using a model face as a reference, the new sketch is in line with the face instead of the default XY plane that the hex head was drawn on. Sketching on faces is an indispensable function when creating connected geometry in your parts, as it lets you make sure they're connected, no matter how the geometry is oriented. I'll reorient the view cube back to the front view, and since I want the post to be attached to the pinhead, I'll delete the example rectangle and activate the circle tool. I want the cylindrical post to be centered on the pinhead, so I'll select the origin as my starting point and drag outwards to place the circle. The sketch isn't fully constrained yet, as you can see in the status bar. So, I need to place a dimension to finish the sketch. I'll activate the Dimension tool and set a distance of 30 millimeters for the diameter. With the circle fully constrained, I'm ready to extrude it to create the post. I'll activate the Extrude tool, keep the default direction so that it extrudes in the same direction that the pinhead did, and then drag the arrow to about 75 millimeters to set the distance. I'll click OK to accept the changes and end the command. With that, another extrusion feature is added to the browser, and the pin is created. If this is your first time using Inventor, congratulations! You've just made your first part. What started as a simple idea was broken down, turned into a sketch, and pulled out into 3D geometry, all thanks to some commonly used design tools. In the next lesson, I'll go over how to edit what I've created here to account for any design changes or specifications I need to adhere to.